Hello, people in guitar land. Lesson 4, and we're gonna try and do what we just played. Van Halen, Ain't Talking Bout Love. Man, it's a classic guitar riff, and surprisingly playable, even if you're a beginner. New technique that we're introducing here is palm muting. That's a technique where you place the inside of your palm here on the strings where the strings sort of come up, and that will give you a dampened sound of the string, a muffled sound. Instead of it nice ringing out, it's now muffled. Okay, so Van Halen, Ain't Talking About Love. We're starting out with an A minor chord. That's an open A string. Then finger 2 is on the D string on fret 2. Finger 3 is right beneath there on fret 2 of the G string. And then finger 1 is on the B string on fret 1. And then we get an open E string. And it'll sound like that, you know, very pleasant chord. Now, the shape we are using is almost half the riff, so you know that's why it's very playable for a beginner. And instead of strumming the chord, we're using a picking pattern where we single out notes from the chord, and that picking pattern starts out with this. That's open A, D string, B string, G string. So string 5, string 4, string 2, string 3. Looking at the picking. You can do this with all downstrokes or alternate picking, whatever you like. Now the second part of this riff goes, so that's open E string on 1, B string on 1, and then G string on 2. And the way I do that is I keep my A minor shape here, so we got, and then I grab, after the open E string, grab the B and the E string here with my finger 1, so I lay down a little bar, and then I do 1 on the E string, 1 on the B string, and I already got my finger there ready for the G string on 2. So you can just keep that shape, and then the next notes I take with my pinky here, and that's E string on 3 and then B string on 3. Looking at the picking of that, so we got this bit, A, D, B, G, E, E again on 1, B string, G string, then E string again, B string again. Now, and I'm playing this without any effects here. Of course, when Van Halen plays the riff, there's a lot of distortion going on. If you got a digital delay, then put it on about 100 milliseconds. And if you got a flanger, then also put that on a slow rate, and then you'll get that studio sound of Van Halen. But it's not important for the riff to sound cool, you know. It's a cool riff. So that's the first part of it, which is basically just an A minor chord, you know, picked out with single notes and added some notes here and there. E string, G string, 1 on the E string, 1 on the B string, 2 on the G string, 3 on E, 3 on B, and then we get to the bass bit. When you get your pinky here, move finger 2 up to the low E string on 3, but only very quickly, and then move down to the A string on 3 and shake that one a bit, and then you got finger 1 here ready on 2 on the A string, and then hammer on back to 3, so that bit together. And then it starts over again, so this all together. Now when you do this with the palm muting action, where you have your palm just gently resting on the strings, so instead of a ringing sound you get a muffled short note. And you mute everything up until those 3 notes on the pinky. So where you on 3 on the, then you let go of your mute. So you know, just lift your palm up, hit that low E string to go right down to that A string on 3, shake it a bit, hammer on, so you strike down on 2 and you hammer on 3. And when you're muting, it's probably easier to do this all with downstrokes. You know, you can practice alternate picking, going up and down, but that's all to you. Now, when you add a bit of distortion to the story, you know, you get that sound when you mute, that nice chunky sound. Now, to get that high-pitched sound that I get here on the low note, you know, when you normal strike it, it's this, and I'm sort of forcing a high note out of there. It's sort of a picking technique that's hard to explain to get that artificial harmonic. What I tend to do is I really dig into the string with the pick, and I sort of alter the angle of attack a bit, so that the side of my thumb here sort of grazes past the string, and when a string vibrates you get waves, and with what you do, you take out the big wave to leave the little wave sort of vibrating, and you need a lot of distortion and some good pickups, preferably, you know, to get those artificial harmonics. But you know, you have to find your sweet spot on the string and then do it. So, hope you like this riff. It's all yours.